This week's episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Squarespace,
Gamefly,
and Netflix.
On this Totally Rad Show, we're talking about The Losers and Exit Through the Gift Shop, as well as the Starcraft 2 beta, Star Trek Online, and the misadventures of PB Winterbottom. Do not touch that dial. Why would you even have a dial on your computer? That's ridiculous.
Three rad boys doing their best to avoid the Domino's Noid gets sucked into a void. They look quite annoyed when they see what's deployed. They may be destroyed by a huge trapezoid. It seems they've employed a giant asteroid in the shape of Illinois. It works, they're overjoyed. Now don't feel devoid, take Dr. Mario's steroid. It's time to make noise for the Totally Rad Show.
And welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 162. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show is a weekly dose of all things rad. We go outside with stencils that say "rad bitches" and spray paint street art.
Yeah.
You see
We do.
You see where that
We
connection?
sure do. F you, law enforcement.
Law enforcement. I hope that there aren't actually a bunch of paintings saying "rad bitches,"
Did they learn it
and then
from us?
all of a sudden
Yeah.
they're like. Although we did have one guy made a Dignation stencil and was spray painting stuff with Dignation, which I thought was really cool and not encouraged.
Endorsed.
Well, our
Or
background
endorsed.
kind of looks like a stencil.
Yes, a little bit.
It was
Wow.
sent in by, who was it, Mike?
It's a giant dead spider on the
John
green screen.
Lamazny.
I don't know if that's a dead spider on the
I don't know if
green
he's
screen.
pronounced that correctly or not.
Lamazny.
But thank you, John, for sending in. I think it's a pretty sweet background. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of us in stencil form.
It's reminiscent of the crazy street art that we're going to be talking about, movie about street art, which I had absolutely literally, I knew nothing of this
Isn't
movie.
that the
when I
best
went
way
in.
to see a movie? Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Let's find out.
This week in movies, we're going to start off talking about The Losers. Alex, as you probably know, was in New
He's
York
a loser.
City. He's the opposite of a loser because he was in New York City on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Correct.
And you did a spectacular job.
Thank
by
you
the
very
way.
much.
Hilarious.
Appreciate that.
Very cool,
Appreciate
man.
that.
So you were unable to
I missed the screening.
You missed the screening, but we'll hit you up in just a bit for our next film.
Correct, Amanda.
Stay simmering.
So I'm going to start here on Jeff to talk about The Losers, which is based on the comic book by Andy Diggle. We talked about it.
Last week, right? Was it last week?
We talked about it a few weeks ago. So go back in the archives for that episode if you want to hear our thoughts on the comic book. But the movie is from Sylvain White, who did the movie Stomp the Yard, but he's also a noted music video director. And it's co-written by Peter Berg, who was the guy who was supposed to direct it for many, many years.
And one of your favorite directors, right?
One of my favorite directors. I think we all kind of dig Peter Berg here,
And
right?
also a
Here
very
at Team
fine
TRS.
actor.
A fine actor.
Yes, Fire from the Sky, I believe, was one of my favorite ones.
Sure. Just try and say.
Just trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Fire in the Skies.
The Losers follows a sort of special forces black ops team of badasses. Headline: Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played the comedian in Watchmen, is the leader of the group. Chris Evans, in his second of 3 comic book
Adaptations.
portrayals he will be given, soon to be Captain America. And Idris Elba from The Wire, and Zoe Saldana. They all form this team of hardcore
A-teens.
dudes who've been basically
Screwed.
by the CIA.
I love that this is your hand signal for screwed over by the CIA.
And they declare war on the CIA. Jeffrey,
Yes, sir.
you loved the comic book.
I liked it very much.
As was stated, no, you said no. What did you think of the movie?
Unfortunately, the movie's a pretty big disappointment, and it's no fault of the fantastic cast. I think they put together an electric cast. I think these actors are all fantastic. put them together, and they really do their best with substandard material here. And it's a shame because there are moments that are really fun between these actors, and Zoe Saldana is smoking hot again, and and there are so many wonderful little fun things. I think Chris Evans was great. He's wonderful comic relief, and it's relatively true to the comic, but it really falls flat based on poor execution. And I think more than anything, the action sequences aren't fun. The way the film is shot and delivered to me, I was very off-put by the whole process, the whole presentation. I mean to say, it uses a real kinetic kind of look and feel that just did not work for me at all. And there are some set pieces that just aren't fun, like the fight between Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Zoe Saldana in their room. It doesn't make any sense. It's not fun to watch. It's a stupid character moment that seems over the top and ridiculous. And so much of the movie is like that when I think it could have been a really good action movie.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't like the comic book, and the movie gave me exactly the same feeling the comic book did. I disagree on the cast, save one dude. I really felt like, specifically Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I thought was terrible in the movie.
Really?
He was very cheesy. And I think a lot of the fault lies on the words that he had to say.
You said
but the one was Idris Elba, who you guys loved in The Wire.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he really proves the point of all those other guys that just delivered to me exactly what those comic book words did. But this guy made it, I feel like he schooled them. He made everything feel grounded and real. Even though ridiculous things were happening, he sold it. He really shaped his character, and everyone else felt as 2D as the page of a comic book.
Yeah.
I thought the opening action sequence was spectacular in concept and a little bit in delivery. It's interesting that you talk about the presentation. I agree, nothing spectacular. A shot here, a moment there. But what's interesting is the director is a music video guy, and his music videos all had this very signature style, very high live action hip hop guy with this graphic novel-y composite-y background. And here he's doing a graphic novel movie, and it looked a lot like Peter Berg's movie. It looked a lot like The Rundown, which I think is a far superior movie. And it's just interesting that graphic novel style didn't really show except for like one shot in the entire movie. I thought it was all really silly. I didn't think Chris Evans was funny. I think he usually is funny, but not at all in this movie. Although a lot of that humor was the same thing from the comic book, which I also
but they also
funny.
didn't. It starts at the beginning where the comic book doesn't, which I thought actually was a detriment. Like
Other than that sequence, it was the best. I think the best.
I disagree. I didn't like that sequence at all. I found that whole escape chase thing with the bus as not fun.
That was 1 minute in that. I just love the
what it culminates in.
Well, but the concept behind that whole was a great. It could have been a short film, I think.
So it sounds like it's Alex. Don't worry about seeing it.
Although it could be the movie that you love.
Could be.
Yeah, it definitely could be a movie you like.
I'm going to see it on
I didn't
TV,
like it.
and we'll see.
It's just also the action sequences were very 80s. They were very people are in a room 10 feet away from each other with an Uzi, and they're spraying with bullets, and then everyone else is jumping out in slow-mo, as if old Die Hard.
And there's a great moment where Chris Evans, does that just with his fingers,
From
and
the
then
comic.
and the sniper is killing him through. But we get it. You don't have to then do the big zoom to the guy who then tips his hat. We get that that's what was happening.
I think that is the frame in the comic.
But,
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's unnecessary, and it's so on the nose and.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. It's been a long time since we've talked about a documentary on the show. And there's a documentary that got a lot of buzz at Sundance that's now out in theaters in New York and LA and maybe some other select places I'm unaware of. And it's called Exit Through the Gift Shop. And it's from the street artist, probably one of the most popular street artists ever. I happen to be a huge fan of his, called Banksy.
You have his book, right?
I have his book. as I'm sure many do. They sell them at Urban
Booksy.
Outfitters.
Booksy.
So the movie basically started off as a documentarian filming
Street artists. Well,
street art artists, and then it becomes a documentary about the guy making the documentary. It certainly then becomes much more than that.
Right.
But we'll start there.
Yeah.
Alex, what'd you think of Exit Through the Gift Shop?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was an interesting look into a world that I have zero concept of. It was sort of weird to me to see, like Shepard Fairey at a Kinko's printing out giant Obey posters. And I was
Kinko's
like, really?
you've probably been in.
I know, yeah, in Hollywood. It's like, really? Nobody comes in and goes, hey, Shepard Fairey, are you gonna put this in an illegal place?
And this is the guy who made the Obey, the Andre the Giant,
Big
in many
Obey
iterations,
and the
Obama
Hope thing, which he's currently being sued for.
Nice.
But
That Obey thing is so ubiquitous. I would be shocked if anyone watching the show has not seen it somewhere.
Oh, of
which
course.
is crazy.
And that was the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that he said. He was like, it was an experiment in repetition. Like, if I just put this thing everywhere, will it be in the global consciousness? So it's it's a look into this world that I've always been intrigued by, and seeing these things and going like, wow, what motivates someone to do that? And is this a corporation? Like, is this, when I see a big weird thing, I'm like, is that for a movie and I'm not getting it? Or is it really just some guy who like, I'm just doing street art for the street art's sake? So it's a great look into that world. And then, you're right, it just becomes a movie that's about so much more than just that's sort of its shoehorn into being able to speak about art and criticism and the what makes art, and what makes an artist, and how much do you need to be putting into a project in order to be considered an artist, and in the eyes of people, and it was great from beginning to end. It was just totally captivating, and it's a weird movie. It's not the kind of movie. It's not the movie that it's like halfway through it becomes a movie you don't think you're seeing, but it's still in the same vein, and it makes perfect sense. So I thought it was great.
Right.
Yeah, I would go even farther than that and say this is a very, very special documentary, and it's so fantastically amazing because, like you're talking about toward the end, it really is about the concept of art and artistry, and it challenges you to think about those kinds of things in a way that you haven't before. And what I love about the street art movement, if you can call it a movement, is the fact that art in postmodern culture has been this thing that exists in these places that you have to go into to see. It exists in staid museums and galleries. And for the vast majority of popular culture, the vast majority of people, they never go there. They never expose themselves to that. So you have this whole group of people that decided to break through that barrier and put their art out in the world where you have to see it. And that is such an engaging concept already. And that's really just the first third of the movie. And already it is, Banksy is such a moving, incredible artist. And you realize that, yes, he's doing something that is on the edge of being legal or illegal. But, specifically the sequence where they show him going to Israel and putting up stuff on that wall, I was moved profoundly by those images. And you really see the power of art. Then the movie transitions, as you referenced, into something completely different that almost destroys everything that it built up at the beginning.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Am I not allowed to get to it right now?
Yeah. Let me just give my thoughts because it could be somewhat of a spoiler. So we'll But
well, I'm not going to explain exactly what it is, but
Okay.
The feeling that I got from the second half of the movie, it really is a disillusioning kind of letdown about everything it builds up at the beginning of what art can be, and then kind of shows you what the other side of that coin of what a disappointment or how hollow art can also be, and what a big lie it can all be.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very powerful movie, I found.
You know what it is? It's probably the best, most balanced movies, where it's like, we're gonna celebrate this thing, but just so you know, while we're celebrating, there's also this
There's
that
a
you
dark
should
side,
be aware of, and it's like,
it reminded me of another movie that I know you love, which, I'm sorry,
I'm gonna bring it up right now.
okay, go.
I like this movie a lot less than My Kid Could Paint That.
but you liked
we-
My Kid Could Paint That.
I love My Kid Could Paint That. It's one of my favorite documentaries.
Oh, you said you like this movie less.
Yes.
Ah.
And it's funny because we went into this. I didn't really know the experience I was going to have watching Exit Through the Gift Shop, but I went into it with people talking about My Kid Could Paint That and talking about this whole video game art thing that has been going around the internet. And to then see this movie cap that off was pretty unique experience. But I really, for me, everything that you guys have brought up, I felt like I dug into with My Kid Could Paint That, and I didn't love this movie. I really thought I was gonna love it. But
We're being attacked by helicopters.
I
by the way,
did it,
just
I'm sure
in case they may not be able to hear that.
Right.
We are being attacked by helicopters.
It's Banksy.
It is
It's another
Banksy.
hoax. And I love the artwork of Banksy. I love the trailer for this movie had festival name like Cannes, and then a little letters that said, "Is a film festival."
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
right?
that's
And
awesome.
I love the idea of that. And this movie is it could be one big that. But the things that happen in the movie, I don't know. I wanted more of that fun Banksy-ness. Now, I want to get into what it could be a spoiler, but also could, if you haven't heard enough to intrigue you to see the movie, this may help, is the idea that the movie may not even be real at all, right? That the guy doing the documentary
Is a creation.
is a creation of Banksy himself. The guy shooting the documentary of Banksy is a creation of Banksy himself.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Very
take?
Andy Kaufman-esque.
Right.
Yes, very much so.
And yes. What is your take on that?
If so, awesome, right? I mean, if so, amazing. If not, also still fun.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's one of those things where it's not like the end of an M. Night Shyamalan movie where you're like, I need to know what it is so I can look back and go, well, what did I think? But just the possibility that this was all an invention makes you go, that would be the coolest thing that's ever happened.
It's sort of the reverse of Blair Witch or The Fourth Kind, where it's a documentary that's not a real movie trying to be documentary. It's almost like this documentary that might at the end be all fiction.
But the fact that even if it is fiction, it doesn't invalidate anything you see because it's got truthiness, right?
Well, so it's saying something.
It's saying something, but it has also got even if it isn't the truth, it's got an air of truthiness that allows it to really resonate. It is not the kind of thing where, if that never happened, it doesn't take away anything about what it's saying.
Right.
Because that kind of thing has happened all the time.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what is potentially so brilliant about it, is that he manages to think about things, and even if this is true, and he didn't fabricate it, but his art manages to think about things and conceptualize things in a way that really gets to the heart of what you're thinking in a very quick manner, and challenges your perception of things that you take for granted. And so, in a sense, that's what the film is doing all the way through, and then another layer could possibly be what the film is doing as well.
It's cool. We got to exit to the gift shop.
Food for thought?
Find out.
Thought for food. So, we love playing games with ourselves here in the Totally Rad Show.
That's a good way to put it. It's totally not sexual.
From TV tag,
laser tag.
laser tag,
We like lots of forms of tag.
the name game, the forehead game name.
Name game, the forehead game name.
You and I have been playing Charadium
That's
on
right.
the iPad.
And having a blast.
Having a blast. I'm a huge fan of running charades, which hopefully will be a segment someday.
Okay,
Possibly. We'll
hopefully.
see how this goes.
Here's the issue. I'm sitting next to two comic geniuses, two improv geniuses.
call us genii.
The last time I played charades,
pressure now.
I was probably in kindergarten.
Oh.
I'm scared. So, movie?
Movie.
Movie.
Okay.
We're gonna
show.
do movies, TV
show,
shows, and video games.
Video game.
Because it's our
Video
more
game.
show.
Okay.
Video game.
Now, what is the syllable word? How does that work?
it needs to be a two-way street constantly.
Right.
And the only way that you can move on is if someone acknowledges that, yes, we're on the same page, right?
Right.
So if I go,
2 words, first word, first syllable,
one syllable,
1 syllable,
first syllable,
first syllable.
and this, what is this?
You're close.
Small word.
Small word.
So the way we've devised is Mike, our camera guy, has come up with all of the things that all of the clues,
Yeah.
all the things we have to guess. So we're gonna go up to Mike, he's gonna whisper a clue into our ear, and that's gonna be the thing that we have to get. What we've decided to do is we're gonna play one guy to the 2 guessers. The first guesser to get it right gets a point, as well as a successful presenter gets a point. So 2 points available each round. If the presenter doesn't get either of the guessers to get it, nobody gets a point.
All right.
All right, so shall we go? Who wants to go first?
I think Jeff's gonna go first.
Jeff will go first. All right,
I
here
think
we
your
go.
Wii is on.
This means the overall idea. So so if,
For instance.
so like, let's say you needed to
So
do the natural.
Yeah.
Right?
Overall idea of
I could try
baseball.
overall theme. I could try
Yeah.
to get you to say natural, or I could try to say overall theme. Not very much
60
time, dude.
seconds.
Yeah.
Begin.
First
First
word.
word.
1 word.
One word. Shit. Is it a movie, video game, or TV show?
2 words.
First word is 2 syllables.
Video game.
Zelda.
Overall idea.
Thing.
Jumping.
Rings. Lord of the Rings. Rings.
Ring
Sonic.
shining rings. First
Word.
word.
First syllable.
First word. First syllable.
Draw.
Oh, bee stung. Bee.
Bee.
Bee. Bee's first
Bejeweled.
word.
Yeah!
Wow!
Suck it.
Nice! Bejeweled! Nice!
Epic.
And begin.
Movie.
Movie.
3 words.
3 words.
Second word.
Second word.
And,
word.
the, it, they, of, or, but, in.
In. 3 words. Men in Black.
Third word.
Third word. Third word?
3 syllables?
3
Maybe?
syllables?
That goes on the arm, but all right.
Okay. First syllable of the third
Think.
word.
Chin, thinker,
Brain.
mind, idea, concept. Sounds like zombie.
Zombie.
Sounds like
Walking. Lost.
Lost.
Looking.
Bored.
Looking. Perusing. Searching. Searching. Wanting. Finding. 10 seconds left.
Land in time. Lost in time. Men in black.
Trapped
Done
in
in 60
Paradise.
seconds. First word.
First word.
Oh! It was Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
It was
Wonder.
and then Wander. And as soon as I put my hands out, you're like, zombie? I was like,
Oh no!
I did.
Daniel.
That was good.
Here's the thing.
I see what
Here's
you
the
were
problem.
doing.
Alice in Wonderland doesn't seem challenging.
No, it doesn't.
Good luck, Steve.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All right, Dan. You got it. You got it. Dan?
How great is that alarm for this?
I'm
right?
so scared.
No whammies. No whammies.
All right, here
no
we go.
whammies.
Okay, ready?
Go. TV show.
3 words.
3 words.
Second word. Small. Of
Small.
and the
And
it.
the in.
They.
In.
Third word.
Lost in space. Third word. Charge. Charles in charge.
Good job, Alex.
Yeah, dude. What up?
Good
That
charging.
was good. That was good. Good charging was great.
Charging.
You could literally see him say charge. You're
My turn.
So we midstream, we've added comic books. And the way that we're going to do that is just sort of an artsy, scribbly kind of thing.
Oh, I thought we were doing this.
Oh, this.
Opening
is
it.
what I meant.
Opening. Newspaper. No.
You're like, damn it!
All right,
hit the
here we
timer,
go.
hit the timer. All right, here we go. Ready?
And begin.
It's
First
comic
word.
book. One word.
Oddly enough.
2 syllables. First syllable. Watchman.
Watchman. Oh no! I'm forgetting about the competition.
Guys ready?
And begin.
A video game. 2 words. First word.
Space Invaders.
Yes! What? Coming out of nowhere.
You guys are cheating. Wait. The international symbol of Space Invaders is this.
I was just gonna go like this.
My guess was not based on your actions at all. I was
You just said two words.
That's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. The overarching idea, just go like this.
You didn't have to do anything, Alex. You just said 2 words.
Best. 2 words.
my
Space
God,
Invaders.
dude.
Good work,
Nicely
dude.
done, Daniel.
Begin.
TV
show. 4 words.
Fourth word.
4th word.
Watch, look, pose, stare.
Stare.
Man.
Stance.
Uh,
Strut. Model. America's Next Top Model. Yes!
It was good strutting.
It was. Dude, it was
definitely
this.
gonna lose.
It was the hand on the hip, turn, and then the walking.
Oh, that's my turn.
60 seconds on
And go.
movie.
First,
word.
One word. Overall theme.
Overall theme is
Fight.
RoboCop.
Terminator.
Go! It's 50-50. It was either RoboCop or Terminator. Some sort of robot man walking.
Video game. One word. Palm.
Blur, break.
Oh my God!
Dude, that is not fair! Oh, that is not fair! You can't, like, have some sort of secret mind meld with Alex.
Dude, amazing. I just thought, what would be the craziest thing to be one word a video game?
That was really well done. But I don't like this. I don't like
That
this.
could have been Bejeweled.
There's some weird voodoo going on between you guys, and I don't trust it.
All right, ready, go. Movie.
2,
3 words.
Second word is small.
The,
and
in,
it,
in. Men in Black. Okay, first word.
Leap. Jump. Chasm.
No, leap, jump. None of what I did.
Walk. Man on wire.
In traverse. Bridge. Bridge in. Second word. In. Of. The. Bridge over. Under. Second word. 2 syllables.
Second word.
Second word. 2.
Bridge.
Bridge to nowhere. Bridge to Terabithia.
Yes!
Oh!
Bridge to Terabithia! I had no idea what you were doing. You was like,
I realized the second word, I gave the wrong word. I know.
I was like, bridge in, and he was like, bridge in? Who said in was the word? Oh, I did. Oh, you're up, right? Begin.
Jeff. Video game. Overall theme. Running Man. Pitfall.
Mirror's Edge. Pitfall.
Running.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go. TV show. 2 words.
First
word.
Modern Family.
What are you doing? God.
Sushi.
Newspaper man. Reporter.
What was he doing?
Reporter.
Oh, ER. Doctor. Doctor.
House.
Dr. Death, Dr. Love,
Wait,
Dr.
what's
Second
the show
word.
with this is 2 words.
Thought, mind, idea. Wonder. Sounds like.
Sounds like.
Poop.
Surprise.
Jump. Scare. Boo. Doctor Who.
Oh wow! Nice.
Good getting the boo with the sound like.
Movie. What's this?
5 words.
5 words. Second
Adventures of
word.
Baron von Munchausen.
Small. The, in, at, on.
Of.
Be, me, my. The, tit.
In, on.
2. Horrible.
2.
Horrible, Dan.
That's the third word.
Third word.
Exercise, push up.
Push up.
Sit
up.
Gym.
2.
Train.
Train.
How to Train Your Dragon.
That is awesome. And begin.
All right.
Comic book. Movie.
Comic
Comic book movie. Yeah. 5 words.
5 words. First word.
First word.
Sounds like.
Gun.
Gun.
Shoot.
Gun.
Gun. Bang.
Gun.
Shot.
Shot.
Shot. Sounds like shot.
Shot.
Shot heart. Shot plate. Shot name.
Name.
Shot name.
Shot name.
Sounds like shot.
name.
Shot in the heart. Okay.
Shot tag.
Second word.
2 syllables. First syllable.
Eat. Gulp.
Swallow. Pill.
Drink. Pill.
Pill. First syllable. Pill.
Pill.
Kill Bill Part 1, Volume 2.
No, comic book movie.
Wait, sounds like pill. First syllable. First word. Sounds like shoot. Oh! Shoot pill. Shot pill? Shot. Sounds like shot.
Sounds like shot. Not name.
Tag. What is it? We're done.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh my
Pilgrim.
It's a
God.
name that sounds like
no,
shot.
I'm not there.
Wow.
My brain is not wired that way at all.
Hit it.
There you go.
Okay.
Movie.
1 word. 3 words?
3 syllables.
Overall idea. Yawn. Wake up morning.
Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. It's gotta be Groundhog Day. Oh yeah. What the man? Am I running 1 word?
Wait. Do all that again. I was just listening to Dan talk. You wake up in the morning and you have some toast.
It's a weird creature.
You found an
It's a weird
egg.
creature?
You found an egg, and it's a
Jurassic-
dragon. Dragon heart. Dragon rider. Dragon rider. 1 word, 3 syllables. Dragon hearted. Dragon riders. Dragon. Lance movie.
Dragon. The Bruce Lee story?
Never ending story?
No. 1 word.
1 word.
3 syllables.
Never-ending story hyphenated.
Dragon.
3, third syllable. Sounds like
Dragon.
corn.
Dragon.
Oh my God! Dragon. Dragon.
Aragon.
Oh.
Here we go. TV show. 3
words.
syllables, 3 words. Third word.
Hit.
Beat.
Smack. Kill.
Bat.
Club.
Second word. Rat.
Mouse. Mickey Mouse Club.
Yes! Woo!
Movie. 1 word.
1 word. 3
3
syllables.
syllables. Aragon.
Overall
Overall
idea.
theme. Searching.
1 word.
Searching. Lost. Overall theme. 3 syllables. First syllable. Explosion.
Magic.
Chemistry.
Science.
Science. Lab.
Lab.
Labyrinth.
Yes, I win!
You got it. But good game.
Labyrinth! What's up?
That's a really good one too.
Wow.
So
That's
10, 9,
cool.
8.
Booyah.
Wow.
That's
Good,
how you play charades.
Good
Fun
work.
times.
Good game.
Good work, good work. Good games, good games.
Good game.
Games.
Good game.
Wow, Labyrinth was good.
Dude, so if you got a couple friends and you want to do you got some time to blow.
Or if you have an
charades.
iPad, although I must say more fun than the iPad is in
Then
person.
charadiums.
Yeah. Just
Epic.
like all things, you actually meet humans.
Dude, that's it.
Reload. So I thought it would be a good idea to check in and see about some PC games for once.
Politically correct or personal computer?
Well, both.
Okay,
No.
cool.
And I know we talked about Star Trek Online originally on the show when it came out, but you know, massively multiplayer online games are a living, breathing beast that change over time. And we got a lot of feedback actually on that episode of people who were kind of disappointed with Star Trek Online. And I know, Alex, you've continued to play it
Correct, Amundo.
like crazy.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person.
Rear Admiral Albrecht. That's not at all what my name is in this thing, but yeah, no, I just got Admiral, got my new science vessel, which is a space cruiser. I mean, it's like a cruise ship in space. Awesome.
So you're still digging the game?
Love the game.
Now,
yeah.
now there was a lot of criticism early on about a very shallow end game. and
Yes.
and the rating system. But I know that there's been several updates. I haven't continued to play it. I don't think you have either.
There have been
So
2 or 3 by now end game content expansions. Which the whole thing is that they're going to do these they call them raid-episodes, which are basically these story arcs that you can only do with 5 other players. So like in your away missions, when you go down, you don't have your away team. It's literally just all 5 of you are captains, or 6.
Oh, captains, my captains.
No, 5. And I've not gotten into doing any of that stuff. We just hit Admiral right now. But I mean, it is such a cool world. I mean, there are things that I would personally don't love about it. You know, though it is a giant universe, it does feel a little small. You know, I have this thing with MMOs and with RPGs, this feeling of being in a giant world, and that things that you do to save server chunks can really really make them claustrophobic. You know, Dragon Age Origins was a good example of that, where I felt like I was in this big town and then all of a sudden I was on a map and it was like, and I was like, well, that doesn't make me feel at all like I've done that travel. Whereas like Oblivion, you just go and then you go.
Right.
You know, same with WoW and same with all these other places like that. So that's my one main criticism. But man, it is just a joy to play this game. And when you lock into how you play, and I played with my buddy Joshua, who's a tactical guy.
All of our buddies, really.
Yeah. Who's a tactical guy, and I'm a science guy, and the way that we work together, me using the sort of science stuff that I've built up, and him using all this like burst damage stuff that he has, it really, you get into this rhythm that really is very, very, very fun and very rich. And the thing that I think people mostly criticize Star Trek Online for, and I felt the same way early on until I kind of locked into it, is the ground combat. The ground combat is so deep, you just have to scratch the surface and get into it. There are these expose attacks where you can basically, it's basically like the way that you do crits in this game is you have weapons that expose and weapons that exploit. And when you shoot a weapon that exposes, it has a chance to allow you to use an exploit attack to do a massive crit damage. So you're constantly trying to do these exposes, and you're ping-ponging between all the different people to see if anybody is available to do these like crit attacks and all this stuff. But then there's also a lot of ground control stuff.
Sound intrigued, Daniel.
Yeah, like I'm as a scientist, I have this kit that gives me the ability to root people and then make a thermal vent right underneath them. So it's like you root
So they're
people.
like, oh, it feels great in here now.
Much higher than that. Thermal vent, you can put like nanospores that jump from people to people doing damage and stuff. And all of this stuff, you're trying to avoid them coming to you. And it's just so deep. And people, you can play this game, balls to the wall, run in, shoot people. You'll have mild success. And that, I think, is what is the downfall of this game, is you can succeed. It's like going, and I said this on the review when we reviewed it the first time, it's like running into an instance and being able to just run in and kill whoever and not do any skill stuff, and 75% of the time you'll finish the dungeon.
Right. Which people take as being a
that's how you're supposed to do it.
I think that's a lot like Splinter Cell Conviction we talked about last week, how you could just
run and gun,
but you'll meet
there's an artfulness to doing it the other way.
Yeah.
But it's also, and just being in that world is great, and you can like breed tribbles. I mean, literally, you put a tribble in a bank, and you put any kind of food substance, and when you come back, there'll be 3 tribbles.
So, tribble.
And then the tribbles have different buffs.
Let's talk about tribbles.
Yeah, and then they have different buffs, so you can like get rare tribbles.
I'm not a Star Trek dude, but I've heard tribble over and over and over again. It's like a famous episode, right?
Yeah.
What, Meet the Tribbles or something?
Trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, Meet the
Are they an
Tribbles.
alien?
Yeah.
And what happened that was so amazing that
furry
people
things.
loved?
They're little, like, adorable little balls of fur.
They're like
and they
popples?
They multiply really fast.
Like gremlins.
But so
feed them?
they don't do anything bad except they'll like fill up a room. Like you'll open up a door and all these tribbles, and then you're like, now the trouble with tribbles is I'm filled up. I can't do anything.
The tribble's the only one.
So like if you have a tribble in your inventory and any amount of food stuff, when you log back in, you will not have any space in your.
All right, we've officially talked about tribbles more than we should.
Amazing.
Yes.
I don't know.
So I've really enjoyed it.
That sounds great.
I'm happy to keep playing it. I'm still waiting for Star Wars Old Republic.
Right, as are we all. So
Yeah.
say we all. So we want to talk about a new PC game as well, which is sort of just released on the PC on Steam this week, but has been out on Xbox Live Arcade for a while, and it's PB Winterbottom, Misadventures of PB Winterbottom. It's a game I talked about 2 years ago at GDC, was really wowing everybody there, including myself. I know, Dan, you got really into this game, and it's only $5 on Steam, and I think it's about the same price on Xbox Live Arcade. Let's talk a little bit about PB Winterbottom. It's a game developed by two kids, basically, it's the first game. It's a very independent game, and it basically takes a concept that we've seen a few times, games like Blinks, and even the latest Ratchet & Clank, where you can record your character doing a certain motion, and then you have multiple versions of yourself doing that motion. And it's basically a series of puzzles that require you to have multiple versions of yourself in order to collect pies. Our main character wants pies, and so he's running around. But the game has a wonderful sense of style to it as well. It's got this very 1930s kind of silent film era look to it.
With a weird like French vibe to it, which is interesting.
Yeah, which I'm sure appealed to you as somebody who
Likes movies.
I was gonna say likes pies.
Likes the 30s a whole lot.
Yeah. So tell me what you think of PB Winterbottom. You want to talk about this one?
Special game we got here. Very special.
It's safe.
Awesome.
Safe game.
And it's safe. It's a spectacular game. From presentation, or from all the many facets of presentation, the sound, the music.
Yeah, it's all like old school, like silent film. Like
It's like old school, but it's also it's a little bit grander than that. It's a little Danny Elfman-esque, and dare I say, better than some of Danny Elfman's more recent scores.
Dare you?
Dare I?
Slap Danny in the face, Danny.
The
Danny v. Danny.
The level selection, the titles of the level you're going into, the tutorial, the look of it, the playing of it is all amazing. And the only thing is, it gets pretty darn hard.
It does get hard.
And the degree of hard it gets,
It's like a thermal vent.
is almost hard to play. Because it gets hard strategy-wise, which is fun for me, but then it gets a little hard twitch-wise, a little actual, how can your thumbs do the thing quick with also the strategy.
So you haven't tried it on the PC, obviously.
That's right. I've not played it on the PC, only on the Xbox Live. Maybe it's different with clicking a mouse. I would think it would be even harder. I don't know. Did you guys play on the PC?
I played on the PC, and I don't know if I think that this game should be played on the PC. I kept pining for a controller because I was like, because the controls are fairly simple.
Yeah.
There's a record button and there's a smack button, and then you move.
Right.
And that's basically it. But the way that it has it laid out, we're all three left-handed, but they have you use the arrow keys and like spacebar jumps, and you hold shift to, and I just really didn't want to do that. But I also was like, it was successful enough as a game for me doing that I didn't go in. Right, but it was okay. Like, it didn't make me not do well at the game, but it was one of those. So then it would have, because if I was really bad, I would have been like, oh, forget it. I want this to be my move and this to be my jump and my record.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking to myself, oh, I bet you this would be amazing to play on the controller.
Yeah. And the only thing holding it back besides that too is, like, it's almost like one of the things in Braid is this game blown out. And I feel like Braid is just a much deeper experience, and this is a little bit more surfacey, but it's a deep surface. It's an awesome surface. It's just not quite as deep as Braid. But it's awesome. This is like a game. It's like a must play. It's cheap, and it's an experience. It's a very rare experience. I would be shocked if you didn't and have fun playing the game on top of enjoying all the experiences you get out of it. I mean,
it's one of those games where I put it in and I was like, I'll play this for about 15 minutes. And then like 2 hours later, I was like, what? Where have I been?
Why am I naked?
Why am I
doing?
Yeah. What is this, cherry pie juice? I hope it is.
It's disgusting, dude. Oh my Lord.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Hey man, the man likes pies.
The last thing I wanted to touch on just really briefly is the Starcraft 2 beta, which I referenced a couple weeks ago, or last week or a couple weeks ago, as saying that I've been playing, and haven't really talked at length on the show about it. Obviously, we're going to cover Starcraft 2 in a big way when it's released. Yeah. But I know you're hesitant. But dude, you like things that you didn't think you would like.
This is true. That's me to a T.
Yes, yes. I mean, you're talking about.
No, I know. Plants vs. Aliens or Plants vs. Zombies. That's
It
a
was
tower defense, and I
yeah,
hate tower
you would
defense.
never have said yes.
No.
Exactly.
I hear you.
Anyway, so it is phenomenal, as you would imagine, and I'm really digging a lot of StarCraft 2. There is no company that puts out games more polished than Blizzard, and holy crap, is it good? And they're iterating it very small, incrementally, all the time, and I am getting my ass handed to me by and I thought I was a good StarCraft player, but
It's just a multiplayer beta?
right so far, yeah. And they're coming out with a map editor this week.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
So it's going to be crazy, and you'll have, I'm sure there'll be the classic StarCraft, like all the minerals you could possibly want in one little section.
Is there a thing about this experience playing this game that you did not get out of StarCraft multiplayer?
Well,
pretty.
it looks a lot better.
All right, besides,
it's gorgeous.
besides the obvious.
I mean, new units. It's a whole new game to learn. It's a whole new game.
Really?
It's a complete. I mean, it's as familiar as you want, but as new as you can imagine. The reason I'm getting my ass handed to me is because it's a new game to learn. But the thing I think is encouraging for someone like you and and even me, that is very intimidated by this community of people who just are so good at this game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the
Is that-
PvP stuff in WoW, where you're like,
Yeah,
why
it's
am
like
I even rendering?
too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't even want to walk into that death trap.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The game is really fun, and there's going to be lots of ways to have it be fun, and I think the single player is going to be insanely good. I have no doubt.
And matching, maybe? Can they
Well,
they pair
there
you
is.
with
Yeah,
lesser?
I mean, there's a whole revamp of what's it called? Battle.net.
Oh, Battle.net, right, yeah.
Yeah, that's including matchmaking, and it's going to complete revamp, and it's completely different and much better. And it will remain to be seen when the game ships and millions of people are playing it, what that matchmaking is going to be like.
Yeah.
But,
Well, but they have that with they do have some ability of understanding with the battleground stuff or the arena stuff where people are getting ranked as they're
Yeah.
playing, so that then it's like the low-ranked people aren't getting put with the guys who are kicking everybody's ass.
This
So
is
at
a
least-
company that has like 15 years of experience
Yeah.
doing competitive multiplayer. I mean, they
yeah,
know
yeah.
what they're doing,
Are we? It's the internet, so are we going to be playing against those badass Korean dudes?
Probably not, because
Okay,
it'll
separate-
have like a weird Korean
and
name.
it'll say professional.
Could you?
And you go, no, I don't want to play
Could you take that
professional."
challenge?
Well, there's already like this gambling controversy going on in Korea, like from the beta.
Wow.
Like people are gambling on the beta. It's
Wow.
crazy town.
love
And like
it.
there's like rumors of people throwing
That would
games.
be fun to gamble. That would to really invest you.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of
Not that
fun.
we condone that because it's
No.
illegal.
Although I did just come back
Well,
from Vegas.
if
and
a
lost a lot of
casino
money.
in Vegas, if you can call it into Vegas.
I love it.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, everybody, before we get to our email, we do want to thank our sponsors. Squarespace.com has been sponsoring us for a very long time. And not only have they been sponsoring us, but their service is bar none the best way to get a site on the web that I have ever seen. Their WYSIWYG editor is beyond compare. They've just announced, which I don't think I can announce yet. You have to watch next week's episode of Dignation, where we're from Squarespace, because we're going to be announcing a big new feature. I really was going to talk about it, and then I realized, no, they're launching it at the exact time that we're announcing it on Dignation, so you'll have to watch Dignation to see that. But super cool stuff coming from them. Also, if you have a website, maybe you're on WordPress, maybe you're on Blogspot or whatever. I don't even know if that is a thing. You can literally click a button when you sign up for Squarespace, and it will import all of your content from your site. This is a huge deal.
It is.
Because it is a big pain in the arse to go, I'm going to go convert from my WordPress blog to
Yeah.
a Squarespace site.
You possibly have invested a lot of time and
Years.
energy in that years,
Yeah.
exactly.
But the best part about it is that it keeps all your posts, all the comments from people who have commented on those posts, all the media that you have embedded gets converted over, all the SOE stuff that you've done or SEO stuff that you've done stays there. So you spent all the time with search engine optimization on your site, getting everything
Or
in,
Sony
or
Online
Sony
Entertainment.
Online Entertainment. You got that really big site about Star Trek or Star Wars Galaxies.
Or
You want to
EverQuest.
get that over. EverQuest 2. Anyway, so head over to squarespace.com. Not only that, the plans start as low as like $8 a month. $8 a month to have your website up, maintained, cool stuff. And not only that, if you use the coupon code TRS when you check out, you get 10% off the entire lifetime of your site. Unbelievable stuff, squarespace.com.
Gamefly.com is a place to go if you like video games, but you don't like buying new video games every time they come out.
That's like me.
That is like you. It's like a lot of people because video games are expensive, yo. And Gamefly allows you to pay a low monthly fee, like $15.99, and you get as many video games as you can possibly play. You get the new video game in the mail, you play it as long as you want. There's no late fees, there's no due dates. You just hang on to it as long as you like that game. And when you're done with that game, you send it back and they send you the next one. And so you constantly have a new influx of games as often as you want. Which makes it very easy. And you can get a 2-week free trial by going to gamefly.com/TTRS. That stands for The Totally Rad Show.
Nice.
You get a 2-week free trial, and it helps us out if you go there. So check out their service.
Nice.
Also, Netflix.com's online renting movies
TV shows.
and TV shows. And fitness videos, probably. Sure.
Awesome.
Basically,
1984's
you
Jazzercise
put a
one.
flick on your queue, you get it in one business day. They have DVDs, tons of Blu-rays, or you can watch things instantly on your PC, your Wii, your PS3, your
iPad.
Xbox 360, your iPad, and a glorious app on the iPad. I highly recommend, as we mentioned earlier in the show, My Kid Could Paint That. It is available and watched instantly. Do not watch it that way. Rent the disc, because the disc has a special feature on it that is basically a sequel to the movie. It is a must watch.
Pro tip, Dan Trachtenberg style.
Love it.
Camera Dutch angle. So head on over to www.netflix.com/TRS.
We just turned into the MTV version of the show.
yeah.
Plan so you can get
have a side angle
the
just on
rental
the
and a
black
watch
and white.
instantly for $8.99, but you can get a free trial by going to www.netflix.com/TRS.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
I just got a great idea. Anyway, that's great.
Also, if you haven't been watching Anime TV, you've got to check it out. Every Thursday, revision3.com/Anime TV. They're covering all that is happening in the anime world and crazy imported stuff from Japan. Good stuff. All right, let's get to our emails, shall we? Hey, Rad Dudes. I'm a fairly long-time watcher. What does that mean?
He
a long
explains.
time. Having started sometime in 2007. That's what that
Always read to
means.
the end of the sentence.
Always read. Oh, that's a comma. Damn you, punctuations. Anyway, the news about the PlayStation Move made me think about the future of motion controls and what it means to me as a gamer. Here's the thing. I'm a disabled gamer. I use a wheelchair and I have limited range of movement. While some Wii games are fine, this is actually really interesting. I didn't even think about this.
Right.
While Wii games are fine, like anything controller-based, and some basic games like part of the Wii Sports and Mario Kart, I'm simply unable to do anything more complicated than that. And that's where I get scared of the future of gaming. Interesting. I've been playing games with joysticks, keyboards, and controllers since the 80s, and now I'm facing a leap in technology that could potentially lock me out of the whole generation of games. So here we go. Are you excited for motion controls? Question. Do you have reservations? Question. Are there any technologies in gaming that you were looking forward to that will fill you with trepidation? Question. Keeping it rad, Ben, Cambridge, England. Wow. I'm sort of a little embarrassed that I didn't even think about this.
Accessibility is a big issue. It's a big issue with computers in general, technology in general, but games specifically as well, yeah.
Well, I will say, just jumping off here, I'm not a very big, I'm not excited at all about the motion stuff.
I know neither of you guys are really, right?
I'm more of a sit-back guy. There's some stuff.
I'm different.
There's some stuff that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but for me, mini games are sort of the only way that I can think about it. I just can't see a time where I'm standing in front of my TV playing Oblivion 4 and doing this, and then going, and then moving, trying to unlock the doors and stuff.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't appeal to me at all. And it seems like there should be a way for those games that employ the motion technology, especially if they're going to be some of the big AAA titles. I mean, don't they have to comply with some sort of, accessibility rules?
I don't know if there are.
I mean, the controller isn't accessible for some people as well. So.
I guess that's true, but don't they have like adapters and stuff that people can use to?
Like phones with giant.
Well, no,
numbers
like they
on
have
them.
wheelchairs that you can like do the different blows.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
stuff.
there's a big.
but that's from the other
movement in
end.
accessibility.
I know.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I would say I'm not against motion control at all. I'm very
I'm not against it. I just am not excited about it.
No, but I am excited about it. But I don't think Ben has anything to worry about because I don't think the future of video games or things. Well, maybe actually things more than video games. I don't think the future of video games is motion control. And I think that, as I've sort of alluded to on the show before, but everything in life is all about ease of use. What's the easiest way to do it? And the motion control thing is a fun activity, but I don't think it's the way that you just are always going to want to operate when you play a game. If you think about like virtual reality back in the day, that you had to go to Dave & Buster's to get in that machine, that was a fun thing to do.
For a
and
minute.
if you own that at home, you would do that sometimes, but I don't think that would be your, like even for instance, I'll give you two other examples in a separate medium. My brother, we had an awesome high definition television when they first came out downstairs in the basement, the movie room. And then in the living room where we all hung out, we had a crappy tube TV. We always watched the tube TV. We would try and work ourselves up for, we just got this DVD in the mail, let's go watch it downstairs in the HD TV. You know what I mean? Like it was always, and you would often mention how on Netflix you would have the DVDs in the mail, but you would rather just, if it was on instant watch, you would watch an instant watch rather than put the disc in. Same thing with me with video games. If the game is not in my system, my Xbox, rather than go up and put it in, I'll play whatever's in there, or I'll play an arcade game or whatever. And you're going to say it's laziness, but it's not. I think it's sort of the
ease of use.
It is, and even the internet is like that. People are happier watching a crappier version of a show on their computer, was the word I was thinking of, than having to fire up their TV or put on their TiVo or whatever. I mean, there's just something about accessibility in a weird way, the word used in a different way, that I think would never mean that motion control would replace the easiest thing to do, right?
I think all that is very well said, Dan, and I would even add to that the point that, a lot of the big hullabaloo about motion control is that it's intuitive and that anybody we know how, but there is nothing more intuitive in this world than pressing a button.
Yeah.
Pressing a button is the most obvious thing that a human being, it is
They've now put it
very
in
clear.
as ways to turn cars on because they have that ad where it's like you press a button for everything and now you can turn your car on with the button.
So I agree with you that this is a schism off of which gaming is going to go, but it is not, I don't think it ever is going to replace pushing a button or moving a stick. I think all that is just going to be different sides of a very interesting, multifaceted coin.
I mean, the unfortunate thing I think for Ben and for obviously for many people is that there will be new and intriguing gaming experiences that you may just not have access to, unfortunately. But it's not going to say that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 5 may be all motion control.
Right.
That's probably not going to happen. But there will be some interesting experiences.
I'd
I
love
have
to
to
be
say,
in the future where you look back at this and everything's like motion control. I'm like laughing at oh my god, it's like talking about color TV is not gonna be.
You get in your car and you're like, shh. The car starts. You're like, what was I, a moron?
You're like, what are you grabbing? You don't have a wheel in future cars.
Yeah,
you just
you're
go
like,
like this.
You like this to drive a car.
You go like this.
I'm driving my car. I'm driving my car. No.
The Flintstones had it right the whole time.
But I do want to say, yes, I am excited about some ideas of that gaming, and even like the iPad, like touch, ways of interacting with games that are completely new. Do excite me. But oh crap! I want to go ahead and say what you're going to say. I forgot what I was going to say.
I mean, the thing with the iPad though, I mean, I do foresee a future where, because if the iPad really takes off the way the iPhone did, or even more so, that because the keyboard is you guys, that's why you guys feel like it may not ever replace laptops, because keyboard and mouse stuff, right? But if they have an app, like the apps it can sort of replace things that you need to do on the internet, on the iPad. And if eventually we have a future where apps are everything, where everything's an app, as opposed to, I no longer have to go to a website, I go to the app for the site. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't need my keyboard and mouse.
Then one company controls it. A whole nother discussion. But what I want to say, the thing I couldn't remember, is that the thing that interests me is, we've often talked about when are video games going to give you an experience that is akin to like when we saw Diving Bell and the Butterfly, for example.
Right.
You know, I mean, and there's been a lot of talk this week in the press about are video games art or not. But when video games are going to give me an experience like watching the film Diving Bell and the Butterfly, and I think that uniquely, maybe motion control will do it, or there will be some interactive experience that will make me be able to feel more the idea of what Ben goes through every day. And I think that will be a really profound moment when video games when interactivity gets to the point where I can have a greater understanding of, say, someone who is handicapped, or that gives me an experience that is different from my life.
Perfect example, when you're playing Heavy Rain, they use the controller in a way that makes, like when the character has to contort himself,
right.
They make you contort your fingers to do that thing. And likewise,
and I think motion control could make that even better.
Exactly, because when you have to feel, if your character is handicapped, they get shot in the leg and now they're, right? Instead of, they can vibrate and make you not be able to use your thumb or something, but if it's motion control and you then have to move in a way that makes you feel like, oh, that's what it's like.
Actually, Heavy Rain 2 almost is a must.
Heavy Rain as well.
They're never going to do a
Heavy
sequel.
Rain 2.
No, they supposedly they're going to actually patch in move support for that game.
That's interesting. All right, well, tough thing coming forward on the motion control. Didn't even think about the impact in the handicap world. I mean, that's mind-blowing. So thank you so much, Ben, and thank you for watching the show. And let us know, when the stuff comes out, like you said that there's some certain stuff with the Wii that you can, just email us. Let us know what you think about the PlayStation.
How would they email us? Anybody?
You know what? If you would like to email us, sort of like Ben did, or exactly like Ben did, or if you want to send in a background, feel free to send them to fans@totallyradshow.com.
You can also visit totallyradshow.com and click on backgrounds if you want to download this background or any of the backgrounds we have ever used on the show. They are all there waiting for you. There's also instructions as to what we need if you send us a background.
Correctamundo.
And you can also send us, intro lyrics. We are getting many of those, and they're great.
Oh, yes,
Some of them are not exactly what we want, so I'll just reiterate. Some of them are, and they're great, and we appreciate that.
We have one coming up, too.
Yes, we do. But let me just reiterate. 5 syllables per line. That's it. That's all you get per line. And then each line has to end in the same rhyme the whole time. You get 4 lines per stanza and 4 stanzas.
Perfect.
You could get a 6 here and there. You could hit a 6.
If you open the door, then people are doing like 14, 15.
Well, I'd rather they go to a 6 than they give us like extra lines in there that are like, right?
Well, either way, good luck.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Also, head over to jinx.com.
That's a snazzy shirt.
Death Machine
Zip it up. There you go.
What's up? Zip it up.
Zip it up.
Juice it up.
Zip it down.
All right, well, that is it for this week's edition of the Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex
Jeff
Albrecht.
Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Until next time, get your death shirts. All right, here we go. Ready? Hello, everybody.
Well, wasn't ready.
Okay. Is everybody ready now?
Yeah, barely awake.
All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, I did that.
Because you're a cheerleader.
Yes. But it was good.
I like the turnaround.
You like that? I'll keep that in.
That was awesome.
You like that? I'm gonna keep that in.
I'm gonna work that in.
Pepper that up a bit.
I'm doing it. You guys ready to see it again?
Kick it up a couple notches.
Whoa, a spider.
Yeah, that's what Alex and I were. I think it is dead.